Despina, you're a life coach who specializes in managing addictions and relationships. What inspired your passion for learning about human evolution?
Well, basically, I believe that all of us are born good and we are born from light. But some people in this world, their life becomes quite complicated and they go into toxic relationships, they consume toxins, they do toxic things like gambling, and they ruin themselves. And the reason why I got into learning about humans and trying to understand them and their evolution was because I wanted to understand why people are unhappy. I wanted to actually be the person that could go down the hole and actually be there for people that are going through pain, and understand them and try to help them understand themselves better in order to make better decisions. During my school years, I went through a time where I was an underachiever because I missed out about 9 months of school when I came to Cyprus. And I went back to New Zealand and I was in a lower level class. I mean, I was in the lowest band. And the feelings I felt about myself when I compared myself to other people, it made me feel so low. And through help from family members, like my sister at the age of 16, who has passed away, but she was a beautiful person. At the age of 16, she went and helped me through getting me into a higher band, and I topped the class. And then I went on to university where I was, I got a really high band score at university. And so from that, I realized that we may be labeled, maybe not being academic or not being able to do something, but it's your perception or other people's perception that can be changed.
Your latest book, Enough is Enough, is a helpful guide to managing addictions, transcending suffering through the cycles of change, and ultimately ending with fulfillment. Is it easy for one to break nasty habits and exercise control over them?
The book deals with, first of all, exploring yourself and actually saying, look, I surrender, I need help. And it's actually surrendering to somebody to come and help you. And then you actually explore your timeline and you go through different phases of your life, and you see that during my childhood years I was put, like me, in this class, and I feel, and this has made me feel inadequate in my 20s or in my 30s, and then I go on to form toxic relationships because I feel an underachiever or I feel that I'm not enough. And so basically by exploring your timeline, you can see where the imprints were made and you can see what was wrong. It's like from being a person that is, you've got a ship and you're going round and round the port and you're going nowhere with no crew and no map. You can actually ask for help and get people on board to help you move your ship. And that's the first stage of the book. The second stage goes through transformation. It goes through the changes that have to take place, because whatever we are drawing into our life is just a perception. It's what we feel that we are at that time, but that perception can be changed. And that's the stage where you feel like there's a waterfall and you're paddling away from the waterfall. It's the change stage. That is the most difficult stage for the addict or for the person who's drawing negative relationships. That's a stage where you need help. The last part of the book, which is it's taking over the island stage. I'd like to say it's like being on an island and actually burning the boats. The book is divided, well, it's got 3 sources that came into it. The first is the book with the activities. The second in the book is a higher power. Now, a higher power can be anything for anyone. It might be Allah, Buddha, God, your higher self. Whatever works for people, it's their personal journey. The higher power that I use is God. But the third one is a buddy system, and the buddy system could be your wife, or you could have a group. It might be AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, or it might be a counselor, or it might be your best friend. So what you do is you have a buddy system in place. So when you do feel the urge to perform a negative habit, you've got the hotline. I believe my philosophy, my motto, and the way that I like to live is through this prayer. It's the prayer of St. Francis. And it starts off with, Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Because that's what we are born to do. We're born to be down here and get that energy and spread it so it will grow. And where there is hatred, let me sow love. So even if people have harmed us in our life, even if we've been a victim, even if somebody has abused us, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. We forgive. We forgive, but we don't have to trust. We can forgive so that we can pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. So even if we procrastinate, even if we're self-critical, even if we hesitate, even if whatever, we've got faith in ourselves. We can believe in ourselves. There is tomorrow and there is the next moment. Where there is despair, hope. That is the most amazing thing. Like actually, before you go to bed, you picture yourself the next day. There is hope. There is that person that you're going to be in 5 years' time. Where there is darkness, light. Instead of adding to pain, you can spread light. Because really, when someone is nasty to you, you can spread light you can bring out light. And where there is sadness, joy. So, O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled, but to console. To be understood as to understand. To be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, and it is in pardoning that we are pardoned. I can't say this next line, but okay. And it is in dying that we are born into eternal life. And that's where I feel that we're going to. Our souls will be joined into the light above, and that's where our real living will begin.